Hey YouTube, it's NerdCat again for another Friday video. And like I said last week, this should be the last Harley Quinn video. Sad but true. Like all great things, have to come to the end. So, last week we talked about her in the Gotham City Sirens and her beginning in the Suicide Squad. So, let's get right into it. With how she, what was it? She was put into Belle Reve, and she was left there, and we all think that maybe she's the one who orchestrated the Belle Reve escape. And then she ends up she escapes and she heads to Gotham City to learn about Joker's death. So, let's get into it. When Quinn returns to Gotham and begins a crime spree with henchmen in her image during the issue, the DCNU Harley issues, Quinn flashbacks to her first meetings with Joker though her origins have been slightly altered as of the reboot. Unlike her DCAU counterpart and previous versions, Harleen never believed any of Joker's tales about his childhood and is shown to be both incredibly intelligent and has some fighting profanity. Profancy? I don't know. As shown when she threatened the Joker upon realizing he has bought a knife into their first session. It's a lot different than the original Batman animated Harley. So completely, for people who love the original Harley, it's a little weird getting into this one because she's got such a different storyline, but it's still Harley nonetheless. What else? In their 10th session, Joker reveals that he learned about Harley, that her father had been killed in a hit and run by a drunkard, wealthy rich man who had enough connections to escape the charges and jail time. Which also is a lot different from the other Harley, because in the Harley Gotham City Sirens, her dad's in prison, not dead. So, another change. The Joker presents her with the man's finger, explaining it would be difficult to sneak the man's fat corpse into the asylum, but that he had already tried as much. She tortures a psychologist and former friend for the location of Joker's body before slitting the woman's throat. In this version, Harley's a lot more, what would be the word? She's a lot more violent and also a little more crafty. She's not really using her mind as much as she does in the other versions, where she's more witty and fun, yet she's still getting what she needs. Like, half the time she's the one capturing Batman, while Joker's still trying to figure it out. This one, she's a lot more, pardon the pun, cutthroat. Which isn't a bad thing, it's just a lot different, and for true, original Harley fans, it's hard to get into, but I really like this series, even if it was a lot different. In order to get to his face, Harley allows herself to be arrested by the GCPD and brought into their building, because she just wants Joker's face. Yeah, this comes to the weird parts. Inside the GCPD, Harley retrieves Joker's face, tries to escape to get to Arkham, but is stopped by Savant. She and Savant fight until she outsmarts Savant and traps him in a prisoner cell rigged to explode. Yay. And it's going to explode if he tries to escape, and mockingly says to stay there. She tries to escape the GCPD. She notices Deadshot. Drops some bombs, blinding Deadshot. Sneaks up behind him, knocking him out with her sledgehammer. He wakes up unmasked and is forced to wear Joker's face. That is where, if you look up Harley Quinn and Deadshot, a lot of the New 52 images is of her standing next to Deadshot, who is wearing Joker's face skin. Really creepy on so many levels. Okay, sorry. Harley, now believing that Deadshot is Joker, asks him why he didn't come back for her. Going along, he asks her that if she truly loves him, she would try to kill the Bat family. Batman, Robin, Batgirl, the 100 other Robin versions. God, who knows anymore? Like Robin, there's Nightwing, there's Red something. I'm sorry, I can't keep track of them all. So kill the Bat family. So happily, she runs towards the Joker, but Deadshot shoots her in the gut. Seems about right. Quinn survives because she's Harley Quinn. When does she ever die? She's kind of like Kenny of the DC world. Yeah, sad, but kind of true. But requires surgery to recover. And Amanda Waller still considers Harley as part of the Suicide Squad despite what happened, but threatens her not to pull this kind of stunt again. So Harley's still in the Suicide Squad even while pretty much going against the Suicide Squad. Harley's near death with death seems to have cured her psychosis, and for a time she refers to herself as Dr. Harleen Quinzel again. So after almost dying, she reverts back to her original form, kind of thing, which is a little weird, but it happens. Later in the series, it's revealed that this was only temporary, of course. It is possible Harley has developed multiple personality disorder, which isn't really shocking because of all the things that happened to her. I think I would probably come down with multiple personality disorder. She returns to the team after her betrayal, but Deadshot seems to be against her returning to the squad. I wonder why. She put Joker's dead face on him. I would be against her too. When Harley tries to make it up to him, she receives a punch in the face. Harley getting beaten up again. Way to go. Sticking to their guns. When a gunman working for Ballistic, who has been taken in for interrogation, was poisoned, a traitor was suspected in the group. Deadshot appears to believe the traitor would be Harley Quinn after her rampage earlier on in the series. Understandable. When the plane they are flying on is destroyed by a member of Ballistic, the Suicide Squad lands somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico, where a tribe of Mayans capture them and get ready to sacrifice many of the members. That's gotta be awkward. Like, really? Just flying in a plane, end up getting captured by Mayans in the Gulf of Mexico. Okay. And I don't think that Mayans did. I just didn't know there were just a whole bunch of Mayans living in the Gulf of Mexico. Just most people don't talk about that anymore. Well, the fact that people are still doing human sacrifices. Of course, sometime later, Harley is seen in a storage unit with many of her treasures, talking to her stuffed beaver. She is thinking about what it would be like for her to have her own comic book. When she hears some voices who offer to depict her in her comics. First, Becky Coolin, sorry if I get their name wrong, depicts her as a rock star in the middle of a concert, but she gets booed off stage, resulting in her shooting her band and asked to see another author. Daniel, draws her as a giant robot dubbed Harleen Zilla by Harley. She goes around destroying the town, but eventually decides to go with someone else. Next, she is riding a dolphin and saves a cruise ship from pirates. She was drawn as a businesswoman and then a ninja who kills the previous artist that drew her. Jim Lee then depicts Harley fighting Batman in the Opera House for the Hush arc in the new style. But Harley doesn't want a reprint, so she moves on, and is doing her Rev Up Your Harley scene from the animated series, but she forgets her license. She goes through being a soccer player, Miss Gotham winner, and ends up in the Tiny Titans comic. But she attacks them with her hammer for their sugar-coated nonsense. Harley is then put into a car with Poison Ivy as they drive towards a cliff. After they go over, she gets moved into another car by Dave Johnson, which crashes into the Hollywood sign. Jeremy Roberts then makes fun of her time in the Suicide Squad by depicting Harley in many dangerous situations. Afterwards, she is put into a swamp where she is attacked by a monster version of Joker. She kills it with her hammer and is happy after she gets transported to a sunny yacht by Darwin Cook, where she and Catwoman plan to rob the people on board, but get defeated by Amanda Corner. This is a very weird situation where Harley is just putting herself in different comics. I don't really understand why this is happening. But it's quite interesting that she's literally gone so crazy that she is picturing the things she could be doing in other people's comics. It's quite interesting. Eventually there's a poster found offering $2 million reward for Harley, dead or alive. In the animated series, Quinn often teamed up with Poison Ivy to take on Batman, which I've already said. One of my favorite lines with Ivy and Quinn is, Quinn says, "I'm nobody's doormat, am I?" And Ivy's reply is, "If you had a middle name, it would be Welcome." That is one of the greatest lines ever. Just wanted to say, because it was fantastic. So with, some film, different places where Harley has shown up throughout the years. In 2002, there was a live-action television series called Birds of Prey, which was loosely based on the comic of the same name, and it included Harley Quinn as a psychiatric psychologist and main villain. She was portrayed by Mia Sara, who was then replaced by Charlene Finn. And the show only aired 13 episodes. And in this, Harley is portrayed as older and for a more calculated and sinister character. She was also in Batman, the Brave and the Bold. And in this, she's introduced in the episode Empire Joker, and she's voiced by Megan Strange. And she's a henchwoman to Joker and wears a similar outfit to the 1920s Flapper Woman. Then she was on Young Justice, technically, there was a teenager wearing Harley's DCAU costume in the episode Secrets. And, of course, she's had many other things. She's in the Batman comic book. She had her own comic books. Quinn's DC Universe comic book origin was Batman Harley Quinn in 1999. Harley Quinn ongoing series was published by DC, 38 issues from 2001 to 2003. She appears in other DC comic books. She should not be confused with Harley Quinn, a distinct Teen Titan character originally appeared in the 70s. She's a member of Suicide Squad, and part of the New 52 reboot in 2011. And she's been in Batman Triumph, Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. Also, she was in it's Attack on Arkham or something like that. It was all about the Suicide Squad. With her New 52 version, her origin story is a lot different. Like how her skin is white, because in the New 52s, Harley is completely white, and that's because while she's with Joker, he throws her into a vat of chemicals that he was in that bleaches her entire body, so she doesn't wear paint anymore. And that's why in most of her things where she's wearing her corset and short shorts, all of her skin is white. It's not like she took 2 hours to paint her entire body. It's because her skin was bleached by Joker, and Joker just fucked her, like screwed her over. Like, he was not a good person for her. And she, in the New 52, she's independent, yet at the same time has a lot more mental problems. She's a little more crazy, but at the same time, you kind of love that crazier side of her. You love the bubbly New Yorker Harley from the original Batman animated series, but you also really love the tough, gritty, insane Harley that is the New 52. So that's it for Harley. I hope you guys enjoyed these 3 videos, and I haven't decided what next week will be, but I hope you like this. Comment. I really would love to hear from you guys. And I'll see you next week. Stay nerdy, my friends. Later.